doesn't like a sleeper? You know, the kind of car that blends into regular traffic and then embarrasses the loud and proud at the robots. Well, this machine that I have behind me might look like an Audi A3 sedan, but this one packs a punch. Meet the all-new Audi S3 sedan, and at 1.1 million rand, it's quite a digestible price. So to start off this test, I want to start in the front, where to be honest, there's not really that much going on, especially over the A3. I mean, we might have a slightly more aggressive front splitter, but other than that, it blends in fairly well. But our first glimpse at its performance personality comes behind the front wheels. We've got nice big red calipers with ventilated rotors, and that's a really nice touch. Next up, we've got a nice black skirt that runs along the length of the vehicle and gives that side profile a little bit more flair. But at the end of the day, this is an S3, so what does that mean? Quad tailpipes, and not just any quad tailpipes, these are titanium Akrapovic pipes, and they sound gorgeous, particularly in first gear, but it will set you back 80,000 rand. That's 80. It is mad, but at least it sounds decent. Lastly, we've got an S3 badge on the back to prove it's not a modified A3, and overall, it's gorgeous, but very subtle. Okay, let's check out the interior. Now that we're inside, I must tell you, the S3 is one of my favorite cabin spaces. It's exactly what the interior of a car should feel like. It should be the blueprint for modern cars. You see, just below my screen, I've got all the climate control features and buttons right here. Easy to navigate, satisfying to click. It's a pleasure to use. Below that is all of my driving aids like traction control, parking cameras, and even my drive select modes. Again, satisfying to use, easy to navigate. And then you've got the screen. Now the screen, typical Audi. It's simple. There's no real use of colors. It's incredibly easy to navigate. And in many ways, it blends in with the whole driver-centric cabin environment they're going for. But then in front of me, I've got a gorgeous steering wheel. It's big, it's maybe a little bit thin, but it provides a lot of road feel, and I enjoy that. And then behind it, the driver information cluster. It is gorgeous. Again, minimalist, sleek, got all my information there, easy to navigate, and so nice to use. I love this space. But I'm sure you're wondering, this is an S3, so it's got to be quick, right? Let's take it for a drive. Oh, damn, okay. Up front, I regretfully have to inform you that it isn't a 5-cylinder, but fret not, it is quite a potent 2-litre inline 4, obviously turbocharged. Produces about 245 kilowatts and 420 Newton meters, and in turn gives us a 0 to 100 time in 4.7 seconds. So what do all of these stats mean? Well, let me give you a comparison. The Golf 8R is ever so slightly worse, like slightly worse, in every single one of those 3 stats. This is slightly faster, slightly more powerful, and has a little bit more torque. And then what I must also tell you is those titanium exhausts we were talking about earlier on, well, they pop and bang like a crazy teenager in first gear. That's it. Every other gear is sensibly audible. Good, but more mature. And what really impresses me about the S3 is the amount of feel it has. You feel everything through the steering wheel and through the brakes. And then you throw it into a corner and the rear tires load up and there's so much cornering grip. It's unbelievable. What I do have an issue with though, is that when you change directions, the weight transfer does feel a little bit floppy, maybe a little bit top heavy. It takes a second or two to kind of regather its thoughts, load up those tires and give you the confidence. But what I will say, after spending good time with the car, it does become like second nature. So it's not really a concern, you just have to get used to it. So it's aggressive when you want it to be, and yes, it would definitely smoke a few hot hatches from the robots. And then once you're done, take a turn, pop it into comfort, and now it's nice and smooth. Suspension's nice and soft, exhaust is nice and mature again. It's blending in with traffic, no over-the-top rowdiness. It's a daily that you can really live with, and I like that. So no, the S3 isn't a fire-breathing monster, and nor is it trying to be. And no, it's not an RS3 for those who can't afford an RS3. Instead, it blends the two together perfectly. The conventional and the boring, and the loud and the proud, in a small package that's got some serious unexpected punch. And at 1.1 million Rand, there isn't a sleeper quite like it. But if it was my 1.1 million Rand, I probably wouldn't get it in this color.